Hi. Something that I feel very strongly about is that I think that Michael Keaton is the best serious Batman, and I don't think that's ever gonna change. What I mean by that is, I think that the overall definitive Batman will likely always be Adam West. I feel like Adam West didn't just feel like a definitive version of what Batman was like in a lot of the early comics, where Batman was a more happy character that went on more comedic adventures. In a lot of ways, it felt like he elevated the character and made the character more heartfelt, likable, and charismatic than ever before. And I don't think that anybody will ever be able to bring such sentimental feelings to the Batman franchise in the same way that Adam West did. I think that Adam West will always remain the perfect, sentimental, sweet, fun loving Batman. But I don't think it's an incredibly serious take on Batman, which I don't think is a problem. When it comes to the serious versions of Batman, I think there is no competition. Michael Keaton is the best serious Batman, in my opinion. And I feel like he was the first that had a really serious Batman, and there have been a lot of takes on Batman since then. And I don't think that any of them have topped what Michael Keaton did as Batman. And Michael Keaton did have a lot of funny moments as Batman, but I think he's overall a serious Batman. Incredibly cool. Michael Keaton was so awesome as Batman that even though the villains had so much screen time and a lot of focus was given on them, to me, Batman still feels like the big overall standout character, where there are certain moments where the villains are taking the spotlight and are the most interesting characters, but overall, I feel like Batman and Batman Returns are still very much Batman films. Batman's still the most cool character. He's still the big character that pops out when I think of the films, and I love him so much in them. He is so incredibly stylish. He is able to have such a great presence, and he is able to be such an interesting, amazing character. And a lot of other actors have played Batman since then. I do really like Val Kilmer as Batman, and I really like him as Bruce Wayne. And I was already starting to feel that before Val Kilmer passed away. I was already feeling very strongly that he was underrated as Batman, that he deserved more time as Batman, and that he could have been known as one of the great Batman actors if he got more of a chance to prove himself. What he got to do was very good, though, and because I feel like his full potential wasn't explored, and Bruce Wayne's big storyline, Batman Forever, doesn't feel fully fleshed out, and Val Kilmer never got to be in another Batman film. It's hard to fully know um, if Val Kilmer could have been up to the same level as Michael Keaton or not. I could imagine it possibly happening. I think it's not Val Kilmer's fault at all. I think that he did a great job. When it comes to George Clooney, I do think he has a natural charismatic presence that's entertaining to watch, but I don't think the George Clooney Batman is super compelling, and I don't think it's a super serious take on Batman, somewhat at times, but not overall. When it comes to Christian Bale as Batman, there are some things that I really like. I think Christian Bale had a great physicality as Batman. I feel like he really put so much effort, and I feel like his effort is really shown and displayed a lot. I think he works as Bruce Wayne in a lot of scenes. I don't think his Batman voice fits. It feels very distracting. I feel like Michael Keaton's voice as Batman really fits the character, while Christian Bale's doesn't really suit Batman, and it's hard to not be distracted when Batman speaks in the films. And Batman doesn't have the most um, like huge presence of dialogue of a character in a film or anything, but he does speak enough to where it's distracting, and it is somewhat of a problem when it comes to Christian Bale's voice. Ben Affleck is Batman. I feel like he also got the physicality right. I don't have a huge opinion on his overall performance, though. I don't think he did a bad job or anything, but it's not a performance that I think about too often. Where Michael Keaton's Batman, I think about really often. Um, Robert Pattinson as an actor, I don't like Robert Pattinson's acting. I have nothing against Robert Pattinson as a person at all, and I wish the best for him and his fans and all that. Just not a fan of him as an actor. I don't think he was believable as Batman. I don't think he had the right look for Batman. So Michael Keaton very much and very easily is the best serious Batman actor for me, and I feel like that opinion only increased after seeing The Flash, where Michael Keaton got to come back as Batman after so many years, after over 20 years later, and he still got to show that he was so cool as Batman. Because I had some concerns. I thought that there was a possibility that he wouldn't even get to be in the costume because of his age. I thought that it was possible that he would just have some dialogue as Bruce Wayne, that be it. Seeing him come back as Batman in the costume, he got to show that he could still play Batman at an older age, and that it would be believable, that it would be awesome. Because I feel like there's a bunch of uh, people being old jokes that could have been made, but he's still taken seriously. It feels like he still has so much passion and love for the role. It feels like his greatness as Batman is so cool, and Batman in The Flash is not the protagonist. The Flash is the protagonist, but Batman in The Flash is the coolest that Batman's been in a live action film since Batman Returns. I feel like in the 3 decades between Batman Returns and The Flash, none of what was done in Batman with Batman in that time compares to what Michael Keaton got to do in The Flash, and he wasn't even the protagonist. Michael Keaton as Batman is that awesome, is that he doesn't even need to be the star to be better than all the other serious Batman actors. He is that great. He is that perfect for the role. So I don't imagine that there will ever be a serious take on Batman that will match up or top what Michael Keaton has done. I guess it's possible, but I really do doubt it, especially considering that a lot of the versions of Batman that came afterwards are somewhat underwhelming in my opinion and didn't fully get what makes the character of Batman so great. So I feel like Michael Keaton will always be the big definitive serious Batman actor, while Adam West will always be the big definitive Batman actor overall, and Kevin Conroy will likely always be the definitive Batman voice actor. So that's how I personally feel, and I want to make it very clear that I'm talking about the actors' performances as Batman, how I personally feel about them. It's not in any way meant to be a critique of them as people. I want them to have lots of happiness, success in their lives, and the same thing for their fans and their families, their friends, all that stuff. It's just simply talking about how I feel about a comic book character being adapted. And even though I am talking about Batman being serious, I feel like the topic overall isn't the most serious or heavy thing. So I want to make it clear I'm trying to keep things as respectful as possible. And I do really want everybody to be treated well and to always be loved. And I want great things for everybody. But I personally feel that Michael Keaton is by far the definitive serious Batman actor. And if you feel the same way, feel free to let me know. And if you disagree, that is okay, and you can let me know about that too.